All right, all right. Welcome to Liberia
Good
Shall Rise.
evening. Good
This is
evening.
Dr.
Trying to.
Positive. Go
Good
ahead,
evening,
Dr.
friends on
Josh. Go
Facebook,
ahead.
YouTube, Freedom FM 87.9 in Liberia. My name is Emmanuel George, your host, and I'm joined by my co-host and the producer of the program, Dr. Positive. Uh, Sharif is away. He's gonna be joining us next week. He on 2 weeks of vacation and trying to finish a program for his for work. So he won't be with us until next week. Dr. Positive, how's your Sunday going?
Oh, my Sunday is going good. I'm just tired from being on the park yesterday. We did a lot of walking around, a lot of eating, and my stomach full so bad. I'm resting today. I think I'll lead the church with you today. So I'm home resting.
Okay,
But yeah, we had a great day yesterday.
we here in Dallas for the church service.
Mhm.
Okay, that's good. We're here for the church service today. Happy Independence Day to all Liberians. I would know our show will be on Sunday, so those of you in Monrovia, happy 26th day, my 26th on your. Enjoy yourself. Let us celebrate Liberia 178th Independence. So, welcome to Liberia Shall Rise, the program that brings a new spin to the Liberian discourse. On this platform, we firmly believe Liberia has all the potential to be a great nation. If all of us, you and I, do our part, that is the reason we don't spend countless hours discussing what if or what is or what could be wrong with the country, but what is and what will be. Therefore, tonight we continue on the series This Could Be. We are aware of the gloomy realities of our nation. We are aware of the news of over $200 million that has been spent on lobbying. We are fully concerned about the alleged sexual scandal around Reverend Fulfillment Bati that have been all on the internet. We are often confronted with hundreds of Facebook live videos that seems to beat one of us to stupor. We are also very aware of the passing of our sister, 18-year-old young lady that was killed in Minnesota by a fellow Liberian immigrant. Uh, but despite all this, there seems to appear the absence of role models in our society. Have you ever thought about a Liberian that is living to its fullest potential? A Liberia that is a beacon of hope of the peoples of West Africa, Africa, and the world. A Liberia where parents are not confronted by the everyday realities of where they get the money to pay their child's school fees for the next month. You see, despite the unfolding gloomy news, there are hundreds of Liberians who are beating the odds. Theirs is a story of success that we believe is necessary to share on this platform. From local government to the classroom, people of Liberian origins are making meaningful impact in the society. They are highly influential in their areas of speciality. We are certain that as our guests share their strength, their stories, you will be as motivated as we are on this platform. We have a lot of outstanding guests that is going to join us. So please join me, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming the mayor of the city of Helena in Montana, uh, on Liberia Shall Rise this evening, Mayor Wilmot Collins.
Hello.
Good evening, Mayor. How are you today?
I am doing very well. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. We know that you are a very busy man, and we are honored and privileged to have you here this afternoon.
No, the pleasure is mine. Whatever I can do, my hands are open to assist.
Thank you. Let us start by trying to know who is Mayor Collins. I know we have seen you on TV, we have seen your wonderful YouTube video, we have seen you giving speeches around the place, but we want to know who is Mayor Collins.
You know, I'm from Liberia. I went to the same school most of the people went to. I'm no different. I went to demonstration school, then I went to Firestone. I grew up in Firestone, a Firestone Plantation Company. I went there from second grade to sixth grade. Then I went to Carroll High School, where I graduated from Carroll High School in 1980, and that's when the coup happened. The military coup. After that, I went to Ricks Institute Junior College, where I graduated from Ricks Institute. And then I went to the University of Liberia, where I graduated with the class of 87. And then I started to teach at SOS Children's Village. I taught there for about 3 years, and all hell broke loose. As you all know, the war came, and we fled. And the first time I ever fled was my at the time my girlfriend and I, no, my fiance and I, because we got engaged. We got engaged upon her graduation. We was, I think, 80, 90, whatever. When she graduated from college at the University of Liberia, just before the war hit Monrovia in 1990, and then we fled to Ghana. And so basically, I'm a Firestone boy. I'm a Karaha boy. I'm a University of Liberia boy. I'm Ricks Institute Junior College boy. I'm demonstration school boy. So that's who I am.
Ah, that's awesome to know. I mean, we would not have known that you have such a wonderful, fresh background of Liberia. So when you said after years of living in the U.S. and we get back to that soon, what are those things that the fond memories you have about growing up in Liberia, going to demonstration, being at the University of Liberia, or Rick's Junior College?
I went to Firestone schools, so I have fond memories of my Firestone days because I went there when I was in the second grade to the sixth grade. So I got fond memories of the sports we play. I have fond memories of my teachers. I have some friends I have a friend in Ghana, Snan Sompo, and another friend in North Carolina. The three of us were classmates when we were in Firestone from the second grade. So we talk all the time. So we reminisce about our teachers and some of the crazy things we did in school. I just missed how free we were. I just miss how everything at the time were right there at our fingertips. And right now we can't say that about the others that are coming up behind us. Everything is a struggle for them. So, but I enjoyed my time there in Liberia when I was there. We played tennis, we played basketball, we played soccer, and those were great times. So we still reminisce about it.
Oh, that's amazing. Uh, my producer liked me to ask this question. It's off the cuff. He liked me to ask, "What is your favorite Liberian dish?"
Oh my man. I'm from Maryland, but
Oh, okay.
my favorite Liberian dish is potato greens. It might be green. How to real green potato green. That's my own name, my man. I love potato greens.
Uh, you let it. You like it with real oil. You like it with alcohol oil.
Anyway, it might just be green. When
Anyway,
I see it green, I love it. I can eat it red or I can eat it agua or I can eat it fried. Any way you put it, I like it.
okay, that's interesting. So now you have gone to the schools in Liberia at computer college. You said you started working in Liberia as a teacher at
Yes.
SOS Children Village. What was your experience like being a teacher in Liberia in the 1980s?
You know, um, it was not bad because I was in an environment where the students listened to us. And in fact, I'm still in touch with some of my students from Liberia. They are here in America. They contacted me and I'm in touch with them. It, I think it was a beautiful experience because I can look back and they can say, "Oh, Mr. Collins, we learned so much when you're in your class. Even though you made everything fun, you made the lesson fun because you would laugh with us, joke with us, but you were still serious when it came down to us passing our test." So now I can look back and say, "Oh yeah, you're right. I did enjoy what I was doing, but because of the war, everything happens. Everything, like the Liberian people say, everything got time in this world." Maybe that during that time, it was my time to teach and to put my all into it, because teaching is in my family. My mom was superintendent of schools in Firestone. My sister's also a teacher. I have two sisters who are teachers. So it almost came naturally to me that I was going to go into that direction.
Okay. Okay. Um, I don't know if it's for my end, Steven. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
be back.
we're
Yeah.
hearing some
Now
noise.
that you,
Now, I'm saying we're hearing some noise, so I'm muting you back and forth. But once you come live to speak, then I'll unmute you, so you're good.
okay, thank you. Okay, Mayor, when we come, now that you have studied in Liberia, you had most of your education in Liberia, was teaching. You said you moved to Ghana. What was the push factor that took you out of Liberia?
My man, my wife at the time, I was my fiance, my man. My fiance and I went across the bridge. We went across the bridge to look for food. Coming back, the last checkpoint before you get to the bridge, my man, we got stopped. The man looked at my wife, my fiance, and told her that he knows she was loving the dough. He said, I know you, you are loving the dough. And my fiance said, no, I know Mr. Doe. Then he looked at me and said, that your man there? And she said, yeah. Then he looked at her, he said, you get away from here. I tired killing today. You're blessed. I tired killing today. When I went home, then we heard about the ship that were at the port, the Nigerian ship. I told my mom, I said, we're getting out of here. If we don't get out, we'll die here. We went to the port Friday. We didn't get on board that ship till Sunday. And another 3 days from Monrovia to Ghana, it took 3 days. We were on board that ship. No food, no water, no nothing. We got to Ghana. When we got to Ghana, because I was working with SOS Liberia, the SOS Ghana. So we were able to contact them. We went there, me and my cousin, we went there, and they accepted us, and they sent us the bus from our family from the port. So we were able to go to the SOS Ghana campus. And then they put me back in the school. I started teaching in the school. My wife, at the time, she was a medical student. She started working in the clinic. So that's how we ended up in Ghana. And that was the motivating factor that made us leave Liberia when God threatened to kill us. That was it for me.
Okay, how was life like with you in Ghana?
You know, it wasn't bad because now we were on SOS Children Village. They were giving us little stipend every month. After about 3 months of living there, my wife said, this is not the life we want. Let's go to America. Because way back in the 80s, my wife came to Montana. That's how we ended up in Montana. My wife was an exchange student. You know, she came to Montana from Liberia and she graduated from this high school here. So anyway, in Ghana, you know, I went to school. We taught the kids. After teaching, we went back to our little place they gave us. We'd stay there. We'd go around, walk around town, and all that kind of stuff. So life wasn't bad, but you know, that was not what we anticipated our lives to be.
All right. So, let me see. Mayor, thank you again. Great story. Dr. George is somewhere that he's not usually, so I think he having technical issue. But I will try to ask one question while he's away. So now you left Ghana. You left Ghana. You came to America. Walking into the story, let's start with America. Once you came back, you came to America. I know right now you sound great and everything, but tell us how you managed in America and today you are where you are. I don't want to go farther in the story, but just coming to America from Ghana, how did it go for you? Was your English as beautiful as it is?
You
Right?
know, and that's the thing about it. Now that you mentioned that, you know, a lot of people, I've had the same thing happen to me. Wow, where did you learn to speak English? You speak so well. But you know, we learned that not only that Liberia is an English speaking country, but we learned the Queen's language in Liberia. I mean,
Hmm.
you know, we learned all of that. People say, "Oh, you know, sometimes we can break into our colloquialism. Sometimes we break into, you know, our waterside English. But when push comes to shove, and you want Liberians to speak the Queen's language, we will speak it. But anyway, when I came to Montana, my man, coming from Africa where the temperature is hot like hell, I came to Montana, my man. The team was at 10 degree, my man. Snow all over the place, my man. I
Hmm.
was confused.
Hmm.
But I didn't let that stop me. I didn't let that stop me. I started looking for work straight. The first job I got was janitor.
Hmm.
Started going in the morning, my man. In the night, in the evening when the school closed, I go there to sweep the place, clean the place, wipe the place down, everything. I did
Hmm.
that for almost 6 months.
Hmm.
Then I joined the US military. I spent 14 years in the Army and 8 years in the Navy. I put a 22 years there. Now I'm retired.
Hmm.
So while doing that, when I was retiring from the military, that's when my son got the idea that I should get into politics and start running for office. But it
Hmm.
was not all easy, you know. So
Yeah, yeah.
people had difficult time understanding me because of my accent. And so I had to learn to speak slowly because you know Liberian people when we get excited we just speak fast
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and people get confused. The team I vex with them, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
excitement. So I've learned to curb that. I've learned to speak slowly. So but
Hmm.
things looked up, you know, I was welcome in this community. I was welcome in this state. And things just took off for me because, you know, from janitor, I joined the US military. And after military, you know, I put my hat in the race to run for mayor,
Hmm.
but that's a whole
Yeah.
nother story, you know. So
Yeah, so again, congrats on being the mayor. But let me just come back a little bit. Somebody listening in Liberia, when people come to America, everybody just think that it's milk and honey, right? They
no,
only see this milk and honey. So you just mentioned something. You was a teacher in Liberia, in Ghana. You were teaching.
yeah,
How did you manage to put your ego aside, to put your big heart, like somebody would say, aside? And decide to become janitor. Janitor, where you cleaning it after the kids, the
yes,
kids messing the toilet up, and
yes,
you knowing yourself from where you were in Liberia, from where you were in Ghana.
yeah.
How did you mentally make yourself to now to become a janitor
Hmm.
uh, before everything else started? And then the next question after that is, who encouraged you to join the army after you were doing the janitor work?
Yeah, you see, when I came to America and I started working as a janitor, I had a resume, but my resume, they could not verify my resume. And when I came everywhere I applied, they said, okay, I put down all the places I worked, but when it was time to verify my work history, they couldn't call Liberia. Liberia was at war.
Mm,
So I just decided, I said, you know what, anything come my way, I would do it. So because I had a young daughter who was she was 2 years old. I had a wife. I had to take care of them. I had to start working immediately. So the first thing I came about was the janitor job. I said I would take it after
mm,
school. But my man, no, life is funny. You know, life
mhm,
is funny. I worked as a janitor for 6 months.
mm,
Then after that, one of the teachers were going on maternity leave.
mm,
So I went to the principal. I said, I used to teach in Liberia. I'm a teacher.
Mm.
Since this lady is leaving for 6 months, can I teach her class for six when she comes back?
Mm-hmm.
So the principal looked at me. She said, "You got a degree?" I said, "Yeah." She
Mm.
said, "Your resume, you didn't put it on." I said, "Because if I had put bachelor degree in political science and sociology, you would think I'm overqualified for this job. I was not going to get it."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I brought my credential. I showed her my degree. She said, "Yeah, I will take you."
Mm.
So from janitor, I started teaching the same school.
Mm. Mm.
I started
Wow.
teaching in that school. Then while teaching, I received a phone call one day. On the phone call, the person said I should subscribe to the local paper, the independent record, the local newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
I told the lady, I said, "No, I read the paper for free at my work. I need to subscribe to pay money for something I'm reading for free."
The typical Liberian way, yeah.
My brother. Then she said, "But you can do much more for yourself." I said, "How?"
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Have you ever thought about joining the US military?"
Mm.
I said, "I'm a refugee. I'm not a citizen." She said,
Mm.
"You don't have to be a citizen if you become an enlisted. You have to be a citizen when you become an officer.
Mm.
Any way you want to go, I can work with you."
Mm.
So I said, "Okay, let's try it." Because for me now, I'm testing the woman because I didn't think she knew what she was talking about.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I said,
Mm.
"Okay, what do I need to do?" She said, "Come visit with me."
Mm.
I went to her. She referred me to a recruiter. I took all my credentials. The man said, "Okay, for now, we can't make you an officer, but we'll start you off as a specialist because you have your degree."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I went to boot camp. Man, I was the oldest man in boot camp,
Mm.
but I smoked all the Pekin because I knew what I was doing. I, all of that. I graduated with commandant's honor.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
I came back to Montana. When I took my credentials to the adjutant general, he was so proud of me. You
Mm.
know what he did? They put me in
Mm.
the chopper and they gave me a tour of the whole city. I rode
Mm.
in a helicopter. They showed me the whole
Wow.
city.
Wow.
So, I was in the military. After 14 years, I decided to get out of the army.
Mm.
I was tired, my man.
So before we go to the military side, though, I want to pause and rewind the story,
Okay.
right? Because you did something again brave and putting your ego aside. Now you say, "All right, I'm going to show these people my credential. I'm going to tell them what I'm capable of." And
Right.
you didn't give up, though. That story tells that you didn't give up. So you came back and say, "All right, now that I was a janitor, somebody is going on vacation. You saw opportunity and you decided
Right.
to grab it." So the
Right.
question I have in that opportunity, once you grab that opportunity, what was the bullying like from the student? The student telling you, "Hey, janitor, how could you be
My
a janitor
man,
now? You are a teacher." Can you just help
that
people
story
understand that?
is true. That
Yeah.
that question is true
Mhm.
because the first day I went to school, I put my name on the board. I wrote, "Mr. Wilmot Collins, I'm your new teacher today." The first thing that second grade girl said, she said, "Oh my gosh, the janitor is our teacher today." And so after school, all of them were running to their parents. "Mommy, mommy, the janitor is our teacher. The janitor is our teacher." I cannot believe how many parents used
Hmm.
to come and sit in my class to make sure that I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, every
Hmm.
day, parents in my class, parents. But for me, my man, I knew where I had the experience,
Mm-hmm.
so they were not going to make me nervous or anything. I went there, I taught that class, and yeah. So, but the kids, after a while, they realized that the janitor was a real human being. He was a real
Mm-hmm.
teacher, and they accepted me. And so
Hmm.
I taught, but it took a while for the parents too because they were a little skeptical, but
Yeah.
eventually they came around.
So for somebody in Liberia, right? Everybody wants to show up in Liberia. They think your story is all great, and it's all this
Yeah,
Cinderella story where the prince come and pick you up, and basically you get on the golden car and you go to the mansion. What I'm hearing here is You went as a janitor, you got in the classroom, and then all of a sudden, you got this big barrage of the whole city coming, almost every parent. Did any parents kind of talk to you after school to say, hey, my man, you need to get out of the class? And then you forget, you're leaving something out. I know you're a mayor, you're trying to be politically correct, but I'm going to put it one in. You were black. Nobody, they don't accept us that easily. You black, you Liberian, you African, you got accent. How did it finally go around? How did the parent finally go around to say, all right, we accepting you as our teacher?
You see, like I told you earlier, because I was very cognizant of the fact that I have an accent.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was in the classroom, I wanted to make sure the children understood me. So I used to speak slowly and clearly. I used to enunciate my words properly. I mean, if you're going to hear me, you're not going to believe I was a Liberian man, because I was pronouncing those words correctly. And so the teachers, I mean, the parents, that's what they wanted to see. They wanted to find out whether the kids will understand me, their children will understand me. And so when they realized that what I was doing was, they could understand me. Some of them let down their guard. And after school, they would talk to me, but they would not be talking about they'll be talking about my experience from Africa and how I ended up here. But nobody ever challenged my credentials. Nobody ever challenged whether I was doing the right thing. After they sat down in my class a few times, they were convinced that I was doing the right thing. And so they moved on.
Wow. Again, congratulations. So let's go to the military now. You mentioned that I know the military have these age limit. That's something that people listening to us in Liberia have to know. So if you ever wanted to join the American Army, I think it's between certain age to certain age. So you have to come quick if you get into that level. Can you please help people to understand, and those that are in America too, to understand that they require the requirement, and then once you got there, you say you destroy the young people. So
I'm with them, my man.
Yeah, was it based on your soccer experience? Was it based on your football experience? What experience you have from Liberia, from school playing football, basketball, that brought you to that level where you beat up, you do it?
In the military, it's all about physical fitness.
Yeah.
It's all about physical fitness. When you get there, before they even let you go to your battalion, before they even let you go to your squad, they will have to give you that physical fitness test. Now, depending on your age, you have to run. When I entered there, I was 31 years old. And the cutoff point was 33. So I barely made it. But all the other training, some of them can go in from 17 and a half.
Yeah.
So imagine 17 and a half to some of them were maturing. Yeah. So
you have to race with them, to push up with them.
Yeah. But I did that. The whole thing here is sometimes you have to put away that pride. You have to put away that I got my bachelor degree. The children got a high school degree. No, all of y'all they seen now. Y'all got to. So when I went there, the first thing I had to do my 2-mile run. They say to max my 2-mile run, I had to run it in 13 minutes and something seconds. I practiced that thing. I maxed it. And then I had to do so many push-ups, so many sit-ups. I maxed all of that thing. So when the children were getting their grades at 250, I had 300. I had 300. Max my push-up, max my sit-up, max my run. And then we had to go to the classroom to study the job they would give you. And I'm already a teacher. I already have my bachelor's, and the people that were teaching us, they were just professional soldiers. So
yeah.
Different. And in fact, they're the one that gave me hard time most. Because at one point, some of the soldier, the drill sergeants, we call them drill sergeants. At one point, the drill sergeant thought I was a spy from Liberia. I said, Liberia ain't got nothing for me to spy on. Yeah, I'm telling you. Because he said, you got your bachelor's degree, you got your associate arts degree. Why are you hanging out with these kids? I said, because I'm at the future. I'm not looking right here. I'm looking at them. So they took me to the commander and all.
Mm,
They had to interview me why I joined the army. And I told them everything.
wow,
Then they
interesting.
calmed down. Yeah.
So interesting. So all these obstacles, though, all these obstacles, you made it through. You left the army honorably discharged, right?
Yes.
So that's another thing people have to know, that if you're in the army, you mess up, the dishonorably discharge you, your life is basically over. So
And that's
congratulations, yeah, congratulations on that too. You came out of the army with honors. So now that you came back from the army, you were civilian, right? What you didn't move from Montana. I can see consistency in you. You
yeah.
like your teaching business. You like staying in one place. You like moving business. So you
Okay.
decided to stay in Montana. So when you
Yeah.
got back from the army, so you said your son was the one that encouraged you to run for other office. So before you decide to go into where our story will end, I don't want to let people relax and get to that part. But before you got there, what were you doing after the military? Did you do any other job? Did you
So
work any other job before?
yeah, when I came back, I started the first I also worked for immigration, Homeland Security.
Okay.
I was immigration service officer. We did citizenship interview, we did investigation and all of that. I worked for Homeland Security for a little over a year before my son approached me for me to do this. So yeah, and I did something in transition. But so this day, after that, my son came. He was a junior at the University of Montana, and he came home. He said, "Dad, we need to talk." So I said, "What about?" He said, "What are you planning to do now that you retire?" I said, "Man, your mom would tell me what I would do. Right now, I'm not focused on. I don't know." So he said, "But why don't you get into politics? You always talk about one day you will get into politics. Now is the time. This is around This is around June of 2017, March of 2017, around there." So I said, "Man, I don't know these people think. I don't know these people politics. I'm ready yet." He said, "Dad, what do you mean by these people politics? You are these people. You live here. This is your community. You are these people. So don't talk about these people and you point to the other people. You are part of the team." So I said, damn. I said, "So what am I supposed to do?" He said, "Invite some of your friends over. Ask them. If your friends don't think you're ready, they will tell you you're ready. But if they think you're ready, they will say, we will help you." So I said, "Damn, you boy, you giving me a hard time." Oh. So I invited three couples over to my house for dinner. They came. After we ate dinner, I said, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, another reason I call you is I want to tell you I want to run for mayor." One of the ladies yelled. She said, "Oh my God, this is fate." I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Just last night, we were talking about asking you to run." And then my son put his hand up in the air. He said, "I rest my case." And you see,
Hmm.
you say you're ready. The people say you're ready.
Mm.
So I told them, "What do I need to do?" They said, "First thing you got to do, talk to your family because your family needs to be on board. If your
Mm-hmm.
family not on board, you will not make it."
Mm.
So in my house, we always vote on everything. My daughter was in the Navy also. She stayed in it,
Mm-hmm.
but she was
Okay.
stationed overseas.
Mm.
So we call her. Everybody got to vote whether I should get into politics or not. So I voted for me to get in. My son voted for me to get in. My daughter voted. My wife was the only one I said no. So she
They
always,
have majority rule.
yep. So then those guys
Mm.
started helping me to showing me what I needed to do to get into the race and all of that.
Mm.
So and my platform was very simple. My platform was not about political party. My platform was about the people because
Mm-hmm.
Montana is a very red state.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people I lean blue, but
Mm-hmm.
but I can work with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So my platform, because what I how I created my platform was I walk around the neighborhood, I walk around the city asking people, what are some of your needs? What are some of the things you think we're lacking? And of all the things they told me, I took the top three. The first one was the the providers of essential services. We needed to fund them. And who were those providers? They are the police, the firefighters, the EMTs. We need to fund them. The second one was we needed affordable housing. We needed to build more affordable housing in the city. And the third one was we need to curb teenage and veterans homelessness. That's my platform. And you can't tell me that's a Republican issue. You can't tell me that's a Democratic issue. It's a people issue. So that's what I ran with.
Wow. So you just kind of gave all the secret to running for office. So anybody who listening out there, if you had an idea, if you want to pursue office, yeah, Mayor Collins just gave you 1, 2, 3 steps on how to run for office. So don't be surprised. There's a few Liberians reach out to you, but this is great. So every dream that sometimes come to reality, like Dr. George always said, somebody must, there is that one person who light that light in your life and say, hey, this is something that I think you'll be good at. And thank God to your son. You've been in office for 8 years already. I
Yes.
did my math, 8 years already. So it's like the election had come and gone. At one point, I saw you were trying to go for senator or go further. So
Yes.
let's talk about that a little bit because sometimes we get successful and we get complacent in our success. So the people of Montana, I think for you being there for 8 years already, I can see you doing great, right? So thank you for
Yes.
representing Liberia well. Thank you for representing us well. But I just want to know what motivated you again to say, all right, now I've done this, I'm doing it well. Let me go to the next level.
You see, once like you said, sometimes when you know you're doing a good job, then you start hearing, oh man, you could do better, you could do better. People start coming to you saying, we have this vacancy, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? And that's
Mm,
what was happening. After I had been mayor for a few years, people saw that I had accomplished what I said I would do. We fully funded the providers of essential services, the police, the firefighters, the EMTs. Then we started building affordable housing. We provided land for different organizations to build homes and all of that. We invested in affordable housing. And then we started looking at organizations that would take care of that would bring about uh, care for the homeless, veterans, and teenagers. All of those things started happening. And so people started coming back to me. Just like Liberia, how people can petition people started coming to me. Man, there's a vacancy for Senate coming up. We think you would do a darn good job. We think you should do it. And so I started thinking about it. And my family got on board with that and we started doing it. But before I did it, because we started hearing the governor wanted to run for US Senate. So I called the governor up. I was still mayor. I called the governor up. I said, hey, can we meet? He said, why don't you come over to my house? Let's have lunch. Let's talk. I said, okay.
mhm,
So I went to the governor's place and I told him, I said, hey, look, this is what I want to do. I want to run for Senate. But I hear there's rumor in the air that you planning to run. If you're planning to run, I'm not going to run against the governor.
mhm,
But
mhm.
I want to clear the law. I want to clear the way. If you're running, I will step aside.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you if you're not running, please give me your blessings.
Mhm, mhm,
So he said, I'm not running.
mm,
And I wish you good luck. I want you to know you can go for it, do it. So me and my team went full fledged. We started
mhm,
running
mm,
our campaign, running our campaign. So I had to go to Washington, D.C. because now I have to declare which side I'm running on.
mm, mm, mm.
Right? I can't always say I'm in the middle. There's no middle party. There's no middle political party. And but
Mm-hmm.
I also told you I lean blue.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Washington, D.C. to talk to the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee. When I went there, they told me, no, we'll not support you. We will not endorse you. So,
Wow.
well, if you won't endorse me, I will still announce my candidacy next Tuesday. So I don't care what you do. The people of Montana will vote me in. They
Mm.
said, oh, we will convince the governor. I said, I spoke with the governor and the governor gave me his blessings. So what are you talking about? But they refused to
Mm.
support me. They refused to endorse me.
Wow.
And it made it very difficult for me because
Mm.
in the 6 months I was in the race, I was only able to raise 360 something thousand dollars
Mm.
in 6 months.
Mm.
I was all over the Liberian community. My man, Liberian people hard to deal with. My man, Liberian people, they won't spend the money, but then when you get a position, they won't come around. They got
Mm.
to be able to invest in their people.
Mm.
That is one thing I see. You see the Ethiopians, the Somalians, they
Mm.
invest in their people. We have a lot of prominent Liberians that could take office, but our Liberians don't want to invest in us.
Mm.
So anyway, it took me 6 months to raise $365,000. Then I was in Texas. I was in Texas at a fundraiser, a Liberian, Houston, Texas. I was there with
Mm.
Liberians. And then I get my campaign manager receive a call. They wanted to speak to me, and they said I was already speaking to the crowd, so I couldn't take the phone call. After I got through, my campaign manager brought a phone, said you need to call the governor. The governor just called.
Mm.
So I called the governor up. I said, Governor, what's going on? He said, can we meet tomorrow? I said, are you in Texas? He said, no. I said, what are you doing in Texas? I said, I'm raising money. I'm looking for money for this Senate campaign. He said, when are you back? I said, Sunday evening. He said, let's have lunch Monday afternoon. I said, great. Okay,
Mm.
I'll see you there. So Monday afternoon, I went to him as he said, Mayor, things have changed. I'm getting in
Mm.
the race.
Wow.
So I said, Governor, I respect that. I cannot get out of the race for one reason. He said, what's that? I said, I have hired 5 people. I'm responsible for those 5 people's salary until November.
Mm-hmm.
If I get on now, I still owe the people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you were promised to hire the people on at the same salary I was paying them,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be able to get out of my contract, then I can endorse you. He said, consider it done.
Mm.
So he said he would hire the people. And he called them up, he hired them. So that's when I dropped out of the race. And to show you how the people were strangling me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
remember I told you it took me 6 months to raise 365,000.
Mm-hmm.
When the governor announced, in 2 hours he raised 1.2 million.
Wow. Wow.
2 hours,
Mm.
6 months. two
Mm.
hours, 6 months,
Wow.
1.2 million.
Mm. So, so that goes to tell us that even in America, politics is still who you know or who's
Yes,
supporting you, right?
yes,
So,
yes.
for someone like you from Liberia, I always have this town that I call Sepakon, where nobody know you went to Montana, you became a mayor. That's great. Our ancestors are happy, and we wish you all the best, and hope Montana folks can see you someday and take you to the next level you want to
Oh,
go.
yes.
I have one of our viewers here have a question. Yeah, I
Okay.
think we already asked it, but let me put it on the screen and then we can answer that quick. Then I will ask you a few other questions. You see?
How did you get accepted in Montana of all places? Was there ever any racial fear in your campaign? You know, to answer that question, I yes, I got accepted in Montana, but there were racial discrimination held against me. In fact, but you see, the thing about it is I have to always try to look at the positive side. When people went and marked my home, they took spray paint, they took paint and marked my home, say KKK, go back to Africa. People
Mm,
did it to my house. But you know
mm,
what happened? The whole neighborhood got together.
mm,
I even touch pen. I even touch water. The
mm,
whole neighborhood got together and washed my wall down.
mm, mm, mm,
Now,
mm.
which one will you follow? I follow the positive.
The one, yeah, the people that wash the wall
People
down,
they
those
wash
that
my
like,
wall
yeah.
down. They
Mm-hmm.
washed my wall down. So I said, oh, but if these people can see this and wash my wall, that means I belong here. Because you will see racial discrimination everywhere, everywhere. But how people react to it is what matters. I never heard of anybody washing people wall down beside me.
Mm,
That means they wanted me in the community.
mm,
So yes, I faced it, but I always look at the positive side of it. And that's what kept me moving
mm.
because there were more positives than negatives.
All right. Mayor, thank you so much. This is a beautiful story, right? As we come to the end of this show, I just want to thank your son, right, for giving you that courage, the motivation
Yeah.
to pursue this path. But to that little boy in Liberia or that person that had just come to America, you mentioned two things.
Mhm.
Racial discrimination will exist everywhere, even anywhere you go around the world. America, it just happened to be that they were the and center of it. How can
Yes.
one ignore, right? Ignore those things and still pursue their goal. Talk to the little boy in Liberia, talk to the little boy that just came to America, or that person that want to pursue their goal but looking at all these outside noises and don't want to pursue. Can you please
You
talk to
see,
that person?
thanks for that question. That's a very good question, by the way, because Liberians, we are noted for complacency. We love to be around our own. We don't like to take chances. We don't like to take risks. So for that little child that I would say, we need to not only live in Minnesota, we need to not only live in Rhode Island, we need to not only live in Georgia. The great United States is wide, and there are lots of places we can live in. Because I've come to realize when we are together, we tend to want to continue to do the same things we do in Liberia. I mean, when I go to Liberian events on the East Coast, on the West Coast, wherever, every event is start late. We got a Liberian time, we use it. But the seeing Liberian people will not go to work late. So I always tell people, I say, there's several things you need to do. We need to be able to step outside of our comfort zone. That place we're comfortable with, we need to leave it alone. We need to start looking at the hard truth. We need to take risks. I took a risk to follow my wife here to Montana. The only in the whole capital city, we're looking at the whole capital city, there are only about 75 black people here.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Wow.
took that risk. So you need to step outside of your comfort zone. You need to take risks. When you can do those things, people will accept you.
Hmm.
Guarantee. I was accepted because I was able to take risks. I didn't even tell you one of the another job I got. You know how I got that job?
Hmm.
I went to I saw the Capitol building. I walked to the Capitol building.
Mm-hmm.
And when I entered the Capitol building, I saw office of the governor. Then on the other side, I saw office of the Secretary of State.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm going to the governor.
Mm-hmm.
The first job I ever got.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the I went to the governor office. The woman stopped me. She said, do you have an appointment? I said, no. She said, would you like to make one? I said, yes. So I'm writing my name down, right? And
Mm-hmm.
this man come from behind me. He said, may I help you? I said, no, sir. I'm here to meet the governor. He said, well, I am the governor. My name is Roscoe. So I turn around.
Hmm.
He said, what can I do for you? I
Mm.
said, well, I just came from Liberia. I just came from Africa. And I thought I should come and meet you. He said, what part of Africa? I said, Liberia. He said,
Mm.
oh, where the slaves went. I said, yeah. He said,
Mm-hmm.
come on in.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
another risk I took. I went
Mm.
straight in the office.
Mm.
He said, Mr. Collins, so what do you do? I pull up my resume from my pocket. I handed it to him.
Mm.
He said, oh, you're a teacher. I said, yes.
Mm.
And he pressed his intercom. He called his special assistant in. He handed my resume to the woman. He said, how can we help Mr. Collins?
Mm.
Then she said, why don't you apply for this job? And she took the governor business card and her
Mm-hmm.
business card. She said, use us for your references.
Wow. Wow.
That's what I
Mm-hmm.
mean when I say take risk. We got
Mm-hmm.
to get outside of the comfort zone. When we get comfortable, we become complacent.
Mm-hmm.
Complacency is not in this world right now for us who fled war. We got
Mm.
on the go. We got to be
Mm.
moving. So yeah.
Wow. So Mayor Collins, again, thank you so much. I know Dr. George couldn't be here. I hope I'm asking the questions he wanted to ask you. But since he gave me the show, I'm going to flow with my questions.
There
So
you go.
as a Liberian, right? Somebody always asks this question: what are you doing to help Liberia to rise, right? And why is it that someone of your caliber, that the Liberian government cannot say we have a Mayor Collins in Wilmot, in Montana? Can we seek his advice for him to help Liberia to rise? Can you please help us with that? Like
You see,
mhm.
this is what I have tried. I have spoken to many Liberian organizations, my man. Like
Mm,
what I say initially, I'm from Firestone. I belong to the Magibi Association.
mhm,
Then I belong to the Firestone, there are different Firestone Association. Then I
mhm,
belong to Maryland Association. Then I
mm,
belong to Carroll High Association. Then I belong to LU Association. Then I belong to Rick's Association. My one just belong to all the
well,
associations. And
yeah.
so how much impact can we make when we give this association $20, we give this association $100, we give it one? That's now, I've spoken to people saying we should come together as one big group. We do
Mhm,
have EULA. We have EULA.
mhm,
But
mhm,
EULA, even though there's these different associations around, EULA should be the one to determine the development project we hold in Liberia. Because Magibi people, they want to do a library in Magibi County. Maryland people want to do hospital in Maryland County. These people, and so they just piecemeal, piecemeal, piecemeal. We need to come together as Liberians and make major projects. We need to do major projects in Liberia. If we say the year 2025, we are going to Maryland County, let's just do the hospital. Then we say the year 2026, we're going to Magibi, we're doing the library. But
mhm,
we do small thing. And those small things are not noticeable to the Liberian people because
mhm,
it's
mhm.
small. We
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
do major projects,
yeah.
because we have the capabilities to do it, but we just so spread thin. Let
Mm.
me, if I say I will give $500 a year to the different organization, that's nothing.
That's nothing. You have to split it up too because you're
So
giving.
between the 8 organization I
Mhm,
need, so each person getting $50 or $60, that's not what
mhm,
it should be about. We should be able to, and that's what lacking for us, Liberia. We can't come together, my brother. We
mhm.
can't come
So,
together.
all right, yeah, and that's a great point too. And I think as an organization, former leader for the Liberian community too, I see that because once you are on top, there all the organization reaching out to you, and you only
Yes.
one person, you still got your bills and everything. So
Everything.
you can only help so much. You understand? You can only help so much. So let's look at Mama Liberia. We're gonna be 178 years old next
In
week.
1 week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next week will be 178 years old. How do you think Liberia or the Liberian government can leverage some of our expertise in the diaspora and help our country to go from step A to step B? And I haven't looked at the map here, but if I were to ask, I think Liberia may be bigger than Montana, but Montana is most successful.
No.
Huh?
Liberia, let me tell you, Liberia is 1/3 of Montana.
Well, so Montana
Liberia,
not big.
Liberia is 43,000 square mile.
Okay.
Montana is 136,000 square
Okay.
mile.
So I changed my question around. How can Liberia, small Liberia, then go into Montana and seek and kind of leverage one of the systems that Montana use in one of their little government, in one of their community? How can Liberia really leverage folks like you, the expertise we got? How can we leverage some of our expertise overseas
We
to
have to
say,
first,
mhm,
Liberia will have to first accept the fact that we need to leverage the expertise. Because, like I told you in our preliminary talk,
mhm,
the State Department, the U.S. State Department tapped me to go to teach democracy in Armenia.
mm,
Now, we have to first acknowledge the fact that we need the assistance, we need the help. Because if we continue to say we don't need the help, we only need donor dollars is the only kind of help we can get. That's
mm.
not all about government. That's not the only thing about government. So I went down to Armenia. I spoke to those mayors. I told them what democracy was. So then what the next step we did, we invited them to come and experience it themselves. Can we do that with Liberians? Yes. We have a lot of manpower, we have a lot of knowledge, we have a lot of people here who can do that. But we have to Mama Liberia, we have to accept the fact that they need it. And if they need it, this is how we go about it. But most times when they talk about helping from outside of Liberia, everybody talk about money, 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 money. Don't get me wrong, it's very crucial. But there are also some knowledge, skills, and abilities that other Liberians have that can be very fruitful to the country.
All right, so Mayor Collins, again, thank you so much for coming on Liberia Should Rise. I think our ancestors are celebrating right now to see that you are doing great and that Liberians are supporting each other. So we want to say thank you. In your closing statement, talk to the Liberian people one from this platform on how can we all help each other and how can we help to make Liberia to become better from our own little corners.
Yeah. Look, this is what I would say. We are all Liberians first. I was born, I was raised, I grew up, I went to Liberian schools, I went to Liberian universities. We are not enemies. We are Liberians who want only the best for Mama Liberia. But in order to have the best for Mama Liberia, we need to come together. And that's what's lacking. We have this division that the people from America think they're better than us, or the people from Liberia, we've been doing this thing this way, and that's the best way we know. No, we can come together, we can work together, and we can make this change we all are looking for. So I would plead with all of us, let's start working together because we've been talking, my man, the war been over for however long, and we're still one of the poorest countries in the world, with a country with vast minerals, vast agriculture, and we're still the poorest. We are still the poorest because we're not working together. And I will admonish all of us to start thinking about how we can work together to bring us the much prosperity Liberia needs. And I appreciate you all having me on this program. And I hope we can learn from it and move forward.
All right. Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you so much. We wish you all the best as you continue to lead Montana. And I want to thank the people of Montana on behalf of all Liberians for keeping our own brother, our own father, uncle as your mayor. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our experience with you on our platform too. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks. Tell your son thank you. Tell your wife thank you, and tell everybody thank you for letting you to come on here today. Again, I wish you all the best. Hopefully, one of these days, like you said, we don't go to places that in our comfort zone. I never even have Montana on my list of places to visit. You understand? Because in not Philadelphia, in not Minnesota, in all the places. But again. we have to step outside of our comfort zone. So thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully one of these days I can cross path to make it to Montana one of these days. I would definitely let you know when that time comes. But thank you so much for coming on Liberia Shall Rise. I hope somebody learned from what you share. Your story is amazing. And we wish you all the best and at the highest height you can get. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. And I appreciate being here.
All right. Thank you. Have a good evening. All right, folks. Again, thank you so much for joining Liberia Shall Rise. The host, Dr. George, wasn't here today, and I had to take on from him impromptu. So this was a great interview with the mayor of Montana, Mayor Wilmot Collins. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Like Dr. George always say, you know, his story, Mayor Collins' story, could have been yours. All you have to do in your own area of expertise is to look further, look beyond where you are. Like the mayor said, we have to go outside of our comfort zone. We don't have to live in all the popular Liberian cities. We can live somewhere else, and don't let things like racism, don't let things like somebody don't like the way you sound stop you from pursuing your goal. He was a janitor. Then he became a teacher. Then he went to the military, and then he became a mayor, you know, so his story could be yours. So all you have to do is to keep trying, work hard, and have a dream for yourself. So on that note, I want to say thank you to all of you that watch. Thanks for sharing the show. Please share the show and follow Liberia Shall Rise if this is your first time watching us. But we are here. We bring Liberians on the show to talk about their success story, you know. And if you have any Liberians out there who is successful or whose story is worth telling, please join us or reach out to us, and we'll be glad to share that person's story. Again, thank you all for watching. You guys have a happy independence. As Liberia 178, let all ask ourselves, where I am, what can I do with my expertise? Where I am, what can I do with the knowledge I have to help Liberia to develop? So let's use our own expertise. Let's use our individual expertise. And like Mayor Collins said, let all of us unite and try to forge a better and prosperous future for Liberia. Again, thanks to you guys for watching. Have a great day. All the best to you guys. Take care.